Okay. Aloha and good evening, everyone. My name is Catherine, and it's so nice to be with you all tonight. I do apologize, my camera isn't working today, but I'm so honored to be able to present Dr. Lori this evening. I guess I can start by sharing a little bit about how I know Dr. Lori. I met her from a professional standpoint when she was my supervisor and mentor for my master's program. And I really truly learned so much from her as a supervisor, and because of her, I really grew in my skills and understanding of the field. And I've always really been in awe and really grateful for her intuitive nature and her wisdom that she would share. And so over time, as we got to know each other, she started sharing more about Master Sha and, of course, Tao calligraphy and the healing field. And so I started my Tao calligraphy journey by taking classes, and it was really so transformative. It never ceased to amaze me when practicing the character showed me where my blockages were. And through all the meditations and practices, I was able to clear many blockages, whether physical, mental, emotional. And so I feel that we're just so blessed to have this amazing gift. And I'm so excited for everyone to continue experiencing it tonight. So without further ado, I present Dr. Lori.
Oh, thank you so much, Catherine, for that wonderful introduction. And as she mentioned, my name is Lori, and I am a psychologist by profession, and I'm also a Tao calligraphy teacher and a master teacher with the Tao Academy. And I'm so honored to be here with you today and on this wellness hour. And I wanted to just go ahead and I usually like to have different topics, wellness topics that we can touch on. And of course, you can connect with us more if you need further information and would like further information on the areas that we present. And so today, I wanted to talk about the concept of self-love. And self-love is one of the areas that I work with most of my clients and my students. Self-love, self-confidence, and many things that we may be going through actually may be related to this self-love concept. And I wanted to later kind of show how Tao calligraphy writing and Tao calligraphy can support our deepening and moving further on our self-love journey. And we will do a meditation in the Tao calligraphy healing field, as well as a demonstration of a Tao light treasure that can also support your self-love journey or any healing journey that you are wanting to move forward in your life. And then we'll quickly go over some of the next steps for your wellness journey. So I wanted to start, first of all, by sharing, having you just kind of check in to see how you're feeling today. Usually I do a check-in on how you're feeling physically, mentally, spiritually. And if there was something that you had in mind, in terms of the wellness hour today, most of us maybe are working on certain aspects of our lives that we wanted to heal and transform. And so, I wanted to allow you to consider that as we, throughout this hour, but see how the concept of self-love can additionally support that area. Okay, so have you reflect a little bit. I just want you to kind of connect and just think about it for you, what it is that you are wanting. If you would like to put it in the field, whether it's a health condition or emotional condition, feel free to write it in the chat as we kind of move forward. So let me just And of course, you can keep things privately too, but just maybe note it for yourself, okay? And so there's many ways that you can describe self-love. And I know growing up, I think this was not even a term that we would even consider or use. Right now, it's much more common. You see it more in the field. You see it, in the media. And so this is gaining more attention as to an important part of one's development. And you can say in some literature, they would say that self-love is comprised of various aspects. I'm listing 4 of them. The first being self-awareness, right? So self-love kind of begins with an awareness of yourself, of your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. Is it aligned with something that is self-affirming, self-honoring, or is it on the other side? Okay, like judging and being critical. The other, having this awareness of yourself, your thoughts, your behaviors, your actions, and emotions, towards yourself, will affect your sense of self-worth, right? And this is beliefs about yourself, your worthiness issues. So a lot of times, even for myself, we might not even be aware of it. We're just living our life. But many times when I lead practices or meditations, even for myself, I find like, there's a self-worth message in there, and certain beliefs that maybe we've picked up from people around us, or there's some cultural things in there. And so for some of you who may believe like that our ancestors impact us, messages throughout our ancestry, or if you believe in past lifetimes, you may have messages that come in that kind of follow us to this life. And so what self-worth is another aspect of self-love. The third is self-esteem, and this is a bit broader, right? This is how content and comfortable are you about who you are, right? It incorporates the self-worth as well as the self-awareness. And it might be, you might see this in more of the self-confidence. Self-confidence may consist of different areas, like we may be confident in one thing, but not another. Self-esteem is more of an overall general concept that we feel generally like we know who we are, we're comfortable and happy with who we are, and we can then, love and honor who we are, right? So it moves along that spectrum. And the fourth is self-care. And these are acts to keep ourselves healthy, okay? So if you notice that self-care can also be the thoughts, emotions, actions to make you feel better, but it's specific acts, right? It's a more of an action thing. So a lot of times, if you are on the journey of self-love, we can start with self-care and self-awareness. Because many times without the awareness, you might not change any behaviors, right? So, excuse me, family's coming. So just as I'm talking about this concept, you might just want to think about it for yourself. And I want you to not judge anything that comes up of where you think you might be. And I'll lead you through some exercises about this. But I wanted to integrate Tao Calligraphy. Okay, so self-care acts can be many things, right? You can go get your nails done, or make sure you drink some water, or get enough sleep, self-care activities. So all of that is great. So you can just go online, type in self-love, self-care. You'll get a lot of different ideas and tips. So I won't go over all of that. What I will go over is how, in particular, Tao calligraphy can be helpful for your self-love journey, okay? And so what is Tao calligraphy? Most of you, let me just check in who's Who do we have? If there's anyone quite new here to the Wellness Hour, please let us know. But I think most of you here are familiar with Tao Calligraphy. But I know that this will also be a video and new people might watch. So I am going to maybe right now play a video. And many of you have seen this video, but this video introduces our teacher, Dr. and Master Jigang Sha. And so he kind of explains his this Tao technology and his philosophy that has moved to create the Tao calligraphy. And so even though you have watched it before, allow yourself to just receive the positive messages and information that he shares. I just love watching this. I've watched it many times. This is the most updated version. And so let me just play this for you.
Millions of people meditate, positive thinking, and a special healing mantra or healing song. Wonderful. But I think mind over matter is not enough. The next step is soul over matter. Soul over matter, soulfulness means our soul can make things happen.
Master Zhigong Sha studied to be a medical doctor in Western medicine from China. Through this journey, he came to learn of a 5,000-year-old practice in traditional Chinese medicine. This revolutionized both his practice and his healing gifts. This is his story.
When I was in a medical college, Xi'an Medical College, one time I think at the restaurant, the meat spoiled. Then I took it. Then I have vomiting, diarrhea, and my intestine cramp. Then midnight, I went to emergency. They give me injection in modern medicine. Nothing works. Ayo, pain. I drink water, pull throughout. I have a classmate. He is the traditional Chinese medicine lineage family, but he studied modern medicine as my classmate. And he came down to my room. He said, lie down. I lie down, lie on the stomach. And he put his hands on my inner thigh and also my lower back. And he said, relax. Then he moved the finger, moved my tendon. I was shouting, wow, very painful, very forceful, move my tendon. And then he said, drink the water. I said, I cannot drink anything. He said, big bowl of water, drink it. I drink it. I drink it. I was totally okay. I have such a deep impression. I said, wow, Chinese medicine, 5,000 years history. There must be something.
This experience, along with many more, changed Master Sha's trajectory from studying strictly Western medicine to also studying traditional Chinese medicine. He received his MD degree in Western medicine from China. He also became a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture. As a lifelong student of ancient Chinese wisdom, Master Sha has come to learn this one eternal truth.
Millions of people in China know these three words, Shen, Qi, Jing. But I have realized Shen, Qi, Jing is more than people understand.
In traditional Chinese medicine, Shen, Qi, Jing are known as the three jewels or three treasures. Shen is the soul, Qi is energy, and Jing is essence or matter. Master Sha has learned and further teaches that everything and everyone is made up of soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter. Or in other words, we are all made up of Shen, Qi, Jing.
During my study through the whole life, I have realized Shen, Qi, Jing is a universal law. Everyone, everything is made of Shen, Qi, Jing. Shen includes soul, heart, and mind. So in spiritual realm, soul is the spirit. But in quantum physics and Tao science, soul is information. They are the same. Millions of people believe here, soul and spirit. Millions of people believe scientific way. But in fact, they are the same. Information is your soul. So therefore, this is like an information system we share with humanity in Tao science.
To further explain, the soul is the warehouse where information is stored. Our heart is the receiver, which transmits the information to the mind. Our mind is the processor or interpreter of the information received. Our mind, in turn, directs the energy and initiates actions. This energy, or qi, dictates the actions of matter. Matter, known as jing, can be defined as our physical body, physical environment, and physical circumstances. Knowing this, both the positive and negative information we consume play a crucial role in the outcome of our lives.
Positive information causes great result for health, relationship, finances. If you connect with negative information, you are affected. We do Tao Calligraphy. We connect with the source. This is a positive information.
Tao Calligraphy is a revolutionary healing art based on an ancient form of one-stroke calligraphy, ibitsu, which he learned from the soul lineage holder, Professor Lee Chu Yun. Master Sha further developed this oneness writing to create a powerful vibrational field that carries the positive messages of Tao's source, such as the greatest love, forgiveness, harmony, flourishing, and more. Through this, we can transform negative information and energy in our own vibrational field by absorbing the positive information and energy generated through tracing of Tao calligraphy. This can result in positive changes and profound healing in our lives, as has been the case for hundreds of thousands of people whom Master Sha has served.
Tao Calligraphy creates source healing field that can serve all life, including health, relationship, and finances.
Okay, so wonderful. So I hope that explained a little bit about, hold on. Okay, sorry, the next video started playing. So Tao calligraphy. So when you watch the video, hopefully you are able to understand how the message, right? The soul, warehouse of information that we may all carry. So if you think about self-love, some of us may carry various message about self-love, whether high self-love and self-honoring or low, right? Being critical, feeling unworthy, all of these messages we could already store, right? And in addition, the heart is the receiver, right? So you might also pick up other messages as you've maybe, grew up. So maybe your household maybe was very loving, self-affirming. So you have developed like a sense of self-love and care, or it may have been where you've perceived it as being very self-judging or critical, and you were hearing negative messages about yourself and also telling yourself negative messages, right? A lot of times our childhood, adulthood, and continued life experience may impact the messages that we hear, the messages that we might take in. So the heart is the receiver of the message and the mind process it, right? So we might believe these messages, whether positive or negative, and that in turn will manifest in what we do, our actions, and what is created, what we can manifest, right? And a lot of times in terms of health or relationships, and other aspects of life, our confidence issues are connected to our self-love, right? Self-honoring issues, our relationships, finances, anything that you might do. So let's go ahead and maybe do an activity so you can just develop some of the self-awareness that we're talking about, which is, as we know, a part of self-love, and that can get you started. And I'll also then show you how we go apply Tao calligraphy to this, okay? So we've learned about what Tao calligraphy is in the practice. And I'm going to have you do a writing activity with me. And this is the Tao calligraphy for Xin, heart. Okay. And this heart is a part of the character of love. Okay. And for those of you who have your writing, even if you don't have your writing brush or paper, if you have a paper or just a pen, that's fine. If you don't have anything available to you, that's fine too. Just do it with your hand, okay? So I'm going to just write in Tao calligraphy heart, okay, representing our heart, our receiver. Heart is the receiver of love, can process self-love information, okay? So let's kind of just go ahead and do it. So I'll show you again so you know how it looks like and you can follow along. Okay, so I'll write it here and then we'll do it again together. Okay, so it's basically, you're gonna go down like a 1. And, okay, heart. Okay. It's kind of like the top of a Valentine. You can think of it, but with the area. Okay, so let's try again together. Okay, great. So I want to ask you how, for those of you, how many of you can just raise your hands or put it on your emoji, have participated in the activity? Was able to write either in the air or on a paper or with your water paper? Okay. Oh, great. I see some, wonderful. I see some hands. Yay. Okay, great. And I see some responses too. Wonderful. Okay, so thank you for joining along. So if you did suggest, okay. So whether you did it or not, what I want to ask you is, how was your response when I asked you to do this activity? Okay, was it, oh, okay, great, I can do it, let me do it? Or was it like, oh, I don't want to do it, or I don't know how to do it? Notice how your response. So this is really not if you did it or not. It's just noticing your response of what your thoughts were, what your emotions were. Maybe you had some anxiety about doing it or some resistance about doing it. You don't have to share if you don't want to, but just notice for yourself. What was your response when I said, oh, let's go do and write heart? Because some of you may be familiar with Tao calligraphy and have written Tao calligraphy before, and some of you have not. Okay, so just notice for yourself. Also, for those of you who did write or did attempt this, notice your response after completing your writing. Did you feel it was on the scale? And both of you, even whether you did it or not, whether your response to doing the activity or response about the activity, where would you rate yourself, right? Is it more on the self-loving side, like, oh yeah, I can do it. Oh, okay, oh, it feels good, great. Or was it more self-critical, self-judging? Okay, so just notice yourself on this range. And again, you don't have to tell me, but I just want you to notice where you may lie in terms of your self-love journey, okay? And this is, one of the ways that Tao calligraphy can assist you. Just the process of learning Tao calligraphy can help you through the process, because you go through all kinds of thoughts. And if somebody wants to share, we'd love to share what some of your thoughts were when I asked you to do the activity, or when you did do it and you notice your writing. So even for me, the first one, I did 2, right? the first one, where did my, Mom, did you want to share?
Yes, I wanted to share. I was a little excited because I've been having problems with my arm and my hand. So when you said to write, I was excited to write it with my right hand or my left hand. I'm actually a left-hander, but because one of the master teachers said, when you do calligraphy, you got to change it, right? So I struggled with my right hand. But today I did it with my left hand, and I did struggle a little, but it turned out pretty good. So I was kind of happy about that. So I was happy that you asked us to kind of do it with you. So thank you.
Good, good, wonderful. And so Mom has been, I'm going to keep you on a little bit. Can you stay on a little bit, Mom? Okay. So, so, Mom has been taking the Tao calligraphy with me for a bit. And can you share like how in the beginning when you thought you had, about the calligraphy, your confidence, your own self-perception? Because she's been.
When I first started, I was never interested in writing calligraphy, right? And when we had the very first workshop, only Laurie attended. And Laurie said, oh, Mom, you should come. But I said, no. She said, I know you would enjoy it, but I never did. I mean, she went by herself. And because I was never interested in calligraphy, because I knew that I had an experience when I was little where my Japanese school teacher would make fun of my writing. But that was because I was writing, not even conscious that I had picked up the chalk with my right hand and I kept erasing the board, and she said, you're going to make a puka in the blackboard, because it was not very nice. And I think maybe through that, I really didn't have self-confidence, right? But when I started taking with Laurie, oh my goodness, she really uplifted me by, even if I struggled, she would always say, look at what you feel was good about what you wrote. And it gave me more confidence, and it was, I think, wonderful. Now I'm able to write more, but right now I'm relaxing my arm because I do have pain when I hold the brush, a little like this. But then eventually I'll start again. But today I did it with my left hand. But I'm telling you, I've been taking with, I know that Brian has been taking a lot of Tao calligraphy classes, and I could see the improvement in him. And I looked at him and I said to myself that I need to be like that. And I need to really have that. I wanted to enjoy doing what I did. And so I did have a blessing with that, and I really felt that now I can pick up my brush and love what I'm doing. And I think when you love what you're doing and not feel like, oh, I don't, it's like a chore, it becomes, I think your writing will improve even more. So I thank you, Laurie, for encouraging me, to do what I'm doing right now. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mom, for sharing. So she kind of shared some of, the points about just for now, the process of Tao calligraphy writing, right? Some of us, even for myself, sometimes I can catch myself just going and judging the writing. And my mom mentioned her past experience of her teacher, the message her teacher gave, right, affected her confidence. So she didn't want to write, and she didn't feel good about it. She didn't feel confident, right? But as the Tao calligraphy process, and we actually learn the skills of awareness and also how to change the message, right? Change the message of like not that she cannot write or that she doesn't know how or she doesn't like to write, to where she wrote it, even if it was in her, because she's a left-hander. So right when she was writing the right hand, that was why the message and her writing wasn't in the hand that she was used to. And the teacher made a comment, but it affected her, confidence, right? So with the process of learning the writing, you get an opportunity to kind of go through the different experiences, and your thoughts will come out, emotions will come out. And this is where you get to kind of be aware of like some of the messages that you're holding. And
Yes.
you get opportunity. Yeah, go ahead.
And I think that's the reason why I enjoy taking the classes, because you would let me know that many times when I would say and judge myself, you would help me to change the message. And that really helped. I mean, I would put myself down, right? Or even my writing, but you would look at the good side of it. So that gave me more confidence. So thank you. I appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you for sharing that. So yeah, so the class is very affirming, right? I mean, I really learned how to change the class to really allow ourselves to actually grow and really practice the self-love types of messages, or the self-honoring, and without judgment. So it's really about not judging. But even if you're not yet ready for Tao calligraphy writing, the Tao calligraphy itself, as you watched in the video, carries a high frequency and vibration and positive message, which can then kind of add more support to change the negative messages that we might be carrying. And this is why, as a psychologist, I love Tao calligraphy, because you can read many of the tips online or go and get, and I am a therapist, so I support, all of these methods. You do what you can do. I support. And I feel that Tao calligraphy can be a very, very powerful and effective and accelerated way to clear some of the negative messages that we might be carrying about ourselves, about our confidence in either healing, whether it's healing for a physical or emotional condition, or our finances, or our relationships. It can help us to develop the confidence in ourselves that we can, we can transform. And I'm seeing some of the messages. Oh, thank you. People are rating where they are. Great. And Amy mentioned, excited to do it. So that's good. So this is a great response. So we can kind of continue on the excitement. And no matter how your writing came up, we want to, in the Tao calligraphy writing classes, we learn to kind of honor it. As my mom says, we always look at what is it that we can honor about it. And that helps us to kind of train our brain to perceive things that we do, things that other people do as well. So we're not as critical or judging. And in terms of the Tao calligraphy, so we have one tool of learning to write Tao calligraphy, because it's a sacred message. And when you learn to write, you get this very powerful connection with the message of the sacred phrases that Master Sha talks about, of the 10 greatest qualities. So you get to connect with one of the qualities, and that can bring a much more positive message, frequency, and vibration that can clear out some of the negative messages that we might have about ourselves, the judgment, the lack of confidence, anxiety, depression, sadness, to move to something more empowering. And we also get to connect with the Tao calligraphy field, right? So in the video, Master Sha, you see Master Sha powerfully writing. So he is the creator of these powerful calligraphies. And because of his training and his service, he is able to have a very special connection with the Tao and the source to transmit all of these frequencies into the calligraphies. So when we connect with it, we trace, we meditate in the field, we get a chance to kind of experience this accelerated healing or transformation. And I like science. Okay, my father was a science teacher, chemistry teacher, but I actually really enjoy science in my school training, scientist practitioner. So I do like evidence-based things. I'm very open because I do feel that science can measure so much. And I also like to go by my own experiences and what I see, right, with others. And we are part of the research study, just a reminder. So for those of you who are interested or have people you can, let us know and we can give them more information, or go to Shah Research Foundation, get more information. Because there are more studies being done on the power of Tao calligraphy. So in this Tao calligraphy field, I was mentioning that when I would do my own experimentation, right? So I would do some regular practices with some clients or students and have them do, a practice I would do in the field, whether it's a meditation. And a lot of times, sometimes I would find that some of the people I work with would get a little bit blocked. There would be a lot of fear, some emotions, anxiety, and they say, I'm not able to move through this meditation, and then I would ask if they're willing for me to open up the Tao calligraphy field. And for those of them who were, I would open the field, and I cannot think of anyone that did not respond, actually. When I would open the field, a lot of times for many of them, the blockages would clear very quickly, and they could kind of process and get to the next state of a little calmer, more peaceful, whereas they weren't able to get there when I did not have the Tao calligraphy field. So for me, it happened more and more, for me, it demonstrated even more the power of the Tao calligraphy. So which is why I just love the Tao calligraphy and the Tao calligraphy field. I've really noticed the difference. And so we'll experience it today, the Tao calligraphy field. And so I want you to think about for yourself, what was the area that you wanted to transform in, area of wellness? And we're going to connect with greatest love, Ta'ai. And this is one of the calligraphies of the Tao calligraphy field. I'm just going to check. And I think thank you, Brittany. She just mentioned in the comments, I believe, the new research study, or the ongoing study right now. So I want you to just kind of notice, we're going to also develop our self-awareness, which is part of the self-love process. So again, check in, close your eyes and just kind of check in again where you are with what you are wanting to transform. If you came in with a certain thing that you wanted to work on tonight, physical, emotional, mental, relationship or finance, notice in your body where you're feeling that blockage. Okay, so maybe if it's finances, it's a little bit different than a physical thing, right? You might not feel it in your body. I mean, you might not, it's not like I have a sore back. Okay, but if it's something like that, notice how confident you are that you can transform it. Some of you might even have some issues with I know sometimes messages like, I'm not worthy enough to have big finances, or, there's these other beliefs about self that will affect your belief of your ability that you can transform and you can be successful. So just notice what comes up, and I want you to just notice it without judgment. So if you're having any type of negative self messages, you can also just work on that, like your self-love, your self-confidence, self-worth, and just notice where you might be holding it in your body. Because even clearing that message can also then affect your confidence in knowing that you can heal. Okay, so close your eyes and just check into your body. Notice your thoughts. Notice maybe some emotions. or some bodily sensations. And you can give it a number right now from 0 to 10 as to how blocked you feel in that area. Or it could, that sense of heaviness or tension or pain, discomfort. And we're going to just spend a few minutes in the Tao calligraphy field. And for those of you who do know how to trace a calligraphy, you can go ahead and connect with that. If not, we're just going to do a short meditation for those who are a bit new. Okay, we're just going to do it for a few minutes. So just imagine a message of, so we're going to just connect with the calligraphy, and we can connect by just saying, "Dear the Tao Calligraphy and the Tao Calligraphy of greatest love." We like to add you can just say, "Please heal and transform my request." Some of you are familiar with the longer invocation of, I love you, appreciate you, honor you, please assist me. Okay, so you might be practicing giving love to the calligraphy or the field. You can also call in for those of you who have spiritual fathers and mothers that you believe in and connect with. You can also connect with them. Dear, the message of Ta'ai, greatest love, please help transform the negative messages to positive messages to help me to increase my self-love, self-worth, so I can heal and transform in the area of my request: finances, relationships, health condition. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we're going to use your mind power, which is your creative visualization. And we're going to just imagine this powerful love and light coming in to you. So you can open your eyes and look at the calligraphy and imagine light coming in through your eyes and breathing in through your nose, going to the area where you're feeling it in your body. If you don't know, then just bring it to your lower abdomen area or your heart area. Your heart a lot of times carries the love messages, right? So just kind of bring it in that area to kind of open your heart to love, greatest love. Feel this message of greatest love melting the blockages in your area. So your mind power is imagining the light. Your heart power is imagine feeling the light. Feel the purest, most loving light come in to heal and transform, to open up your heart. Open up your heart. Feeling loved, protected and supported. Greatest love, greatest love. And we're just going to have a few minutes just feeling this greatest love and imagining it 360 degrees around you. So you can just meditate. I will actually trace the calligraphy for you, all of you, as to provide like a blessing of more positive information. So to all of you who requested as appropriate. And a lot of times when we trace, we get to connect with that message, connect with the field in in a higher level. Okay, possibly, yeah. So you can kind of a deeper connection, right? So meditation, and then it would be tracing. And then, one of the highest ways to connect is the writing of Tao calligraphy that we demonstrated earlier. But for now, just feel the field of greatest love. Imagine that coming into you, into your area of your request or your heart, opening up your heart so you can feel this greatest love. Just imagine the purest, most positive love that you can imagine. Some of you may have experienced some of the human love. You have a loved one, or you love, your children, grandchildren, and you have so much love. And just imagine that that is exponentially increased, and that love is coming back to you, into your heart to receive. Because this is like this pure, positive love from the universe, love from your spiritual fathers and mothers, love from whoever you believe in, the divine, the Tao, the source, whatever name that you want to use. Just imagine that love and light. So you're using your heart power to feeling your mind power to imagine the light. And this is training our mind, our brain, and our heart to be the receiver of these positive messages that can help us transform our self-love messages to deeper and deeper messages of self-worth, self-confidence, greater self-esteem. So we can actually have greater self-care. As we do greater self-care and we have the highest love, self-love, that love goes even purer to feeling the oneness of serving others and loving others. Right? So the more self-love and the deeper and the higher quality of self-love, the more we can love others, the more we can serve others as well. So these are all connected. So allow yourself to just receive. If you get distracted, just bring it back. Sometimes you may notice, this is a self-love activity. You might be like, oh, I don't need to do it. Or I don't want to do it. Notice if those messages come up, no judgment, or maybe you're distracted. These may all be conscious or subconscious messages that is reflective of your self-love. So if you're noticing coming up, just get back and take one moment to be with the field. Get some of this greatest love for your own self. But since all of you came to this session, congratulate yourself too, because you made it on this wellness hour, which means that you do have a level of care and compassion and love for yourself. You might not realize it, but you've showed up. So yay. Okay. So just a little bit more, we're gonna just feel this love and light in your area of your heart. Greatest love, Da I, greatest love. Unconditional love melts all blockages, purifies your soul, heart, mind, body. Love, 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 light, 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 light. Okay. Say thank you, thank you, thank you. And you can just thank the field in whatever way feels comfortable for you. And I just would like to see if there's anyone who would like to share how that short few minutes in connecting with the Tao calligraphy felt for them. If anybody's number changed, or if more like blockages are coming out. Sometimes it might be more painful, or you might have more agitation in your mind or your emotions. That can also be a wonderful sign that things are clearing out. And that you just might need more time in the field or more support. So I just wanted to check in. How are people feeling? Okay.
I was not able to trace or focus during that time. I was sitting undistracted initially, and then right as we were about to trace, lots of other things happened. And then I went, okay, I'll sit back down, and then you took the calligraphy away. So that was pretty interesting that the whole time it was calm and I was focusing, and then a bunch of different distractions transpired right during that time.
Yeah. What do you make of that, Brittany?
I need to do a little more work, not letting myself get distracted, and really make more time to be in the field and trace, focus on my priorities here.
So thank you for sharing, and thank you for that, your honesty there. And again, there's no judgment, right? That was we say that that's a very wonderful information, right? Because she was distracted, and when she was going to get it, you're moving on to the next activity, right? So a lot of times these messages that may block us from really getting the care that we need, right? So we might say, oh yeah, I want to go into the Tao calligraphy field. I want to do my exercises. I want to do all this, but we get distracted. We may not follow through. These may all actually be underlying messages of self-love, and because self-care comes under self-love, right? Self-worthiness. And we might not even be aware of it. Like we might think, oh, I do love myself. But these messages or these actions actually may give us another indication that there's some other messages that might be there that are interfering with us really getting what we need to take care of ourselves and do what we would like. Yes. And so besides the field, so sometimes we have, other services that can also support you, right? With the Tao calligraphy, we have what we call the Tao calligraphy treasure. And we call it the Tao light treasure. And I'm going to do a demo today. And so a Tao light treasure, for those of you who are not familiar, is a spiritual light treasure that's created from this source, Shen Qi Jing, so heart, mind, energy, and matter, which is within the Tao calligraphy. Okay, and they're permanent transitions that will remain with the recipient indefinitely. Okay, and these can be created for the physical body, the emotional body, and more. Okay, so today we have Amy that will receive a treasure from the Da calligraphy, and this will be for her heart, which is perfect. So not only can it serve the heart organ, but it can, the treasure for the heart can also help with the heart as a receptor, the soul aspect of the heart, right? And so also can help with the self-love messages as well. So Amy, I would love to kind of have you, I don't know if you are comfortable putting yourself on the screen. But if not, I'll show the screen and I will offer it to you. Okay. And others, you can get the splash. Some of you may already have received this treasure. Many of us have maybe received the the golden light ball. And now we've been really blessed that Master Shah has authorized us to also give the golden light ball and golden liquid spray. Okay. So as I offer this to Amy, if anyone else in our Tao Wellness group program is also needing a treasure, let me know. I can also download it to you as well. Just put it in the chat. Or, you can also, Chemi can also download it tomorrow. And we do have a wonderful special for the family, okay? That includes the treasure too. So I think Brittany will probably put that in the chat. Okay, great. Amy, just relax. You can just say your name 3 times. And others, you can just ask to receive a boost of your treasure, receive a splash of this blessing. So I'm just going to connect with the field. Da-I, golden light ball, golden liquid spring to Amy for heart. Silent transmission. And we're going to join all of her treasures as one. Silent order. So we have all treasures joined as one. And we're going to turn on her treasures. And few minutes, we're going to have Amy turn on her heart treasure and offer a blessing for everyone in the field and others who have received it too. You can support her in this treasure. Okay. Okay. So and basically how you can do it, Amy, is you can say, you know, dear my treasure from my heart, I, treasure from my heart. We usually say love you, honor you, and appreciate you. Please turn on. Please bless, you know, your own heart or bless those on the line today as appropriate. Okay. And so everyone just relax. And for a minute, we're just going to receive the blessing. So just relax. Imagine the light, not only from the Tao Calligraphy, but from the treasure that Amy has received. And just imagine the light from the treasure, light from field is coming in to you from 360 degrees for your request as appropriate. It's also blessing and boosting Amy's heart. Just think greatest love, and you can just think Da'ai, greatest love, Da'ai, greatest love. Some of you know the sacred phrases of greatest love. First, give greatest love, unconditional love, melts all blockages, purifies and enlightens your soul, heart, and mind, and body. Greatest love, greatest love, greatest love, greatest love, greatest love. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was just a minute or so of the treasure being on. And usually we would like to do more, so I apologize, but because we are running out of time, I wanted to, end on time. But maybe is anyone able to share maybe what they saw for, Amy or felt? I see Chemi is on the line, or any messages for her? We do have some who have spiritual channels. You can either write or share. Mom or Chemi, anything that you've got for Amy receiving the treasure?
Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Master Sha. Thank you, the divine, the Tao, the source, the Tao Calligraphy, Da'ai. I mean, Amy is truly blessed, as you're preparing the golden light ball, golden liquid spring, I could already feel the power flowing. And I know that Amy did have other treasures for her heart, but this one, as Master Sha always says, whenever you receive a treasure, the same one, it goes on up to another frequency, another level. And so it was not only for her physical heart, but also her spiritual. As you said, the heart is the receiver. So it will now start to help her. The message I receive are getting more positive messages into her heart area. And she's truly blessed, to be able to receive such a powerful blessing with so many of you on, where you could receive the splashes as well. So I thank you, Amy, for sharing, the blessings after you received it too, because I feel that myself. So thank you.
Yes. So thank you so much for sharing, Mom. So this blessing as well, you can actually turn it on to help serve others. So many of you may already be Tao practitioners, but this adds to your power. Even if you're not, this is something that, as appropriate, you can radiate out to support others as well. And so Amy said, thank you so much. Felt the warmth and tingling in my heart. Love you all. Thank you, Amy. We love you too. Thank you so much for joining. And I know it is time, but just for those of you continuing the wellness journey, and you do have some information right on the screen that Brittany has shared. But as you move forward on your self-love journey, continue to remember, some of the things we talked about, increasing your self-awareness, your self-worth, your self-esteem and self-care messages, and do it without judgment, right? And do a self-honoring activity. One of the best self-honoring activity and the highest and most powerful for me would be a Tao calligraphy activities, whether it's connecting with the Tao calligraphy field. Some of you may have Tao calligraphy cards. You can create your own field. And you're receiving and practicing with your Tao light treasures, especially to support the message of self-love. You can also seek more support. I believe Brittany wrote on the post of how you can connect with any of the master teachers for further guidance and information readings. You can join our individual or group programs to help you progress further. And we have these wellness activities that you can continue your wellness journey, whether it's the Tao Calligraphy writing series. We have a new one that will come up on July 31st and go into August. It's usually monthly. We have the group wellness program with the Tao Calligraphy field and the individual wellness program. And thank you. We have the Shah Research Foundation study. So new beginners, if you have friends and family, they can also heal and transform with Tao calligraphy, those especially who have a diagnosed depression. So again, remember, greatest love, Da'ai, to love yourself and continue your self-love journey. Thank you everyone for staying a few minutes over and for being here with me. I hope you all had a wonderful evening, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your week. Aloha, everyone. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you all.
Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.
Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you.